starts with VA. One thing you'll love about your trip to Virginia is that you'll never have to settle for one thing. All that you love is all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
From the ESPN studio, presented by Ortho Virginia. Find one of Ortho Virginia's orthopedic locations at orthovirginia.com. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN. Richmond, it's time to get your morning going. Richmond Sports Talk by Richmond sports fans. This is Fitz the Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick. All live from the capital of the Commonwealth, where sharp analysis, your cause, and Richmond always come first. If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now,
I'll take my talents to South Beach.
Live from the capital of the Commonwealth, Fitz the Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Good morning. Good Wednesday, October 1st morning. Welcome in to Fitz the Bill. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Alan will be joining shortly. We'll be joined shortly by an Ortho Virginia doctor, Anoop Gangavale. He'll be joining us here in just a couple of minutes. Appreciate you for clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on 1061 ESPN Richmond, the ESPN Richmond app, and of course, ESPNRichmond.com. And we are streaming live, as always, on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to watch the stream, if you want to be part of the stream, head on over to any of those three places, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Type in ESPN Richmond. We'll pop right on up, and you can watch us live on our stream. And while you're there, be sure to comment, subscribe. Subscribing is awesome. We greatly appreciate it on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. And if you're over there on Instagram, we're ESPN Richmond over there. We're also Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA. And that's where you can find all of our Talk of the Town Friday night coverage. That's where we have our post-game interviews with coaches, with players, everything like that. This week, we're tentatively scheduled to make it out to Huguenot for their showdown with LC Bird on Friday night. Super excited for that one. And coming up in hour number 2, we'll have Carson Parks from Trinity, as well as his head coach, Sam Mickens, after he had a 222-yard performance on Saturday in their win over Fork Hill. So we caught up with Carson Parks yesterday and his head coach, Sam Mickens. They'll be joining 9 a.m. for our Talk of the Town Student Athlete of the Week. Super excited for that. And around 9:15 a.m., we'll also have the Richmond football head coach, Russ Huesman, joining us. But today, beginning the show, as we have for the last few Wednesdays, we are joined by Ortho Virginia's Dr. Anoop Gangavale. Dr. Gangavale has specialties in back and neck injuries and trauma care. He joins us this Wednesday morning to chat about back pain, back injuries around the sports world, all of that fun stuff. Doctor, thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning to chat with us. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Doing well.
Thank you for carving some time out of what I imagine is a busy schedule. So thank you for carving that out as well.
Of course, anytime.
So kind of just off the top here, how long have you been associated with Ortho Virginia, been working with them?
4 years now. Before this, I was in South Florida, and before that, Cleveland. As you know, in medical training, we travel all around. So been enjoying the Richmond climate for the last 4 years.
That's awesome. How'd you get involved in back and neck and things of that sort?
That's a long story, but the short version of it is my dad. When I was going through medical school, my dad had some back problems, and he was an avid tennis player, and we used to enjoy playing, pretty vigorous games of tennis, and he used to beat me a lot, and finally he had this back issue, and then I beat him for the first time. Then he had his back fixed, and then the roles reversed again. So I saw the great recovery that individuals can make, after having spinal issues addressed. And so that piqued my curiosity, and through medical school and further advanced training, I decided that I would focus in on the spine.
That's awesome. And we're going to talk today about some injuries around the NFL, around the world of sports, of course. And do just want to say you're not treating these athletes, not working with the teams, just sharing expertise on back injuries in and of itself. But you mentioned it there, kind of why you got into back injuries. How can those types of things, back, spine, impact other parts of the body and bring you down?
Of course. So, the way we think of the spine, it's sort of the structure that holds your body upright. It also houses all of the nervous system. So the main wiring of the body is housed within the spine itself. So sometimes, unfortunately, if individuals hurt their backs, their spines, necks, it can pinch the wiring or the nervous system that affect other parts of the body. For instance, if you injure your neck, the nerves in the neck control your upper extremities, dexterity, motor function to your hands, arms, shoulders, elbows, etc. And similarly, the nerves in your lower back control your legs. So balance and coordination, ability to walk, etc. can be affected. So what we perceive as arm pain and leg pain could actually originate from an injury or degenerative or wear and tear situations of the spine itself. So what we feel as pain in an extremity can actually be originating from your back or neck.
So what types of back injuries do you see the most often with athletes? Do they come in typically with some arm pain or an arm injury, and then you can kind of trace it back? What do you typically see out of athletes?
Sure. I see a lot of college athletes that sometimes we'll get into a game and they'll be hit from the side, and they encounter symptoms consistent with whiplash, where their body moves, but their head tries to maintain a stable position, and so their body gets torqued in a certain angle. That can lead to muscle strains, ligament sprains, and sometimes even herniated discs. Football players, particularly when they get hit violently, and their head and neck angle changes pretty rapidly, can actually pinch a nerve in their neck or upper extremities. In their neck that can result in pain shooting down their arms. We call that a stinger or a burner. And so your arm goes numb and your arm can go limp sometimes. And oftentimes it can resolve in young athletes. Sometimes, depending on how violently you were hit, it can result in some further damage that needs, evaluation with some advanced imaging, MRIs and things like that. But yeah, specific to athletes and football players, these are definitely some of the injuries that we see. Side hits from the back can result in small, chip fractures off the side of the spine. More vigorous injuries, weight room injuries. We see a lot of those where the vertebra can actually compress down, and you can have subtle compression fractures of the spine. This is also common in older patients. But aside from the routine muscular strains and aches and bumps and bruises, spinal injuries can occur from football as well.
So far this season, it feels like we haven't seen thankfully, a ton of back injuries, at least high-profile ones, thankfully. But what is it, or is there something that you have seen over the last couple of years that may help kind of bring down back injuries? Is there things athletes are doing or other things that people are doing that can help them avoid back injuries?
I think our knowledge of, sort of the musculoskeletal science and general fitness has vastly improved. I think, plyometric training and sort of awareness of posture and stability has also improved. So, our athletes, aside from nutrition, the recovery phase, all of these things, we're paying attention to that now on the sidelines and in the training room. So these are all things that are lending themselves to stronger athletes who can recover a little bit better, and they've got better body position knowledge and things like that to avoid injuries in the first place. Protective equipment, helmets, pads, they're getting better too, thank goodness. So we do see injuries, but less than before.
Yeah, that's a great point. The pads, the protective equipment also helping a lot. But we've been talking a little bit about back, spine. Can you kind of explain the difference between those two types of injuries?
Sure. So when we consider the back, I really like to break it down into, the different parts of the back. There's always the neck or the cervical spine, as we refer it to. Then there's the mid back, which is in the trunk of your body, and the lower back, which is just above the pelvis. The back, when you kind of take it apart in layers, there's always the skin and the soft tissues, followed by the muscular tissues and the connective tissues. And then ultimately there's the spine, which is the bony substructure, which holds us upright. Within the spine, there are several segments. They sit on top of each other like little tin cans. Those are called vertebra, and they're connected with each other with several complex joints and soft rubbery cushions in between them called discs, which are prone to injury. And so, injuries to the back could comprise a soft tissue injury, whereas, like a helmet strike to the side or helmet strike to the muscle, which can absorb a lot of that injury. And if their injury is more high energy, it can transmit all the way deeper into the level of the bones, which can result in a fracture. You can actually herniate a disc or rupture one of those softer tissues in between the vertebra itself. So the back is a more all-encompassing word. The spine is a more inside, deepest substructure that holds you upright.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Is there a difference on how you do or treat patients with maybe an upper back injury compared to a lower back injury?
Sure. Yeah. So upper back and neck injuries, the cornerstone of all of our treatments first is, we observe the patient, we find out what their goals are, what their baseline functionality is, and we try to take the most minimally invasive or least invasive approach. We try all the simple things first. We try to get them rehabilitated with physical therapy, strengthening, stretching. We try, simple medications, anti-inflammatories, and steroids if needed, muscle relaxers to kind of, recondition the muscles and soft tissues first. A lot of the injuries happen to be soft tissue, and if treated as such, we're often, very successful. As it pertains to the upper back and the lower back and different parts of the spine, the demands of those parts of the spine are completely different. The upper back and neck is really functioning to hold your head and shoulders in the correct position so that we can operate within space. Your lower back is just generally more load bearing and for more twisting to aid in different functions. And so the design of those vertebrae are different. And so they can, similarly get injured in different ways. Your neck has fantastic range of motion. You can turn from side to side, but your lumbar spine doesn't move that much. So the injury profile that can happen to these different parts of your back are rather different.
Gotcha. Very, very enlightening. And where can listeners go if they're experiencing any back issues, any spine issues? Hopefully not, but if they are, where can they go schedule an appointment with you guys at Ortho Virginia?
Yeah, orthovirginia.com. If you're able to, log in and make a MyChart account, you can find any one of us, myself and my colleagues. If you have any spine surgical questions, you can make an appointment online, and you can search us by name, and we're happy to see you.
Awesome. Dr. Gangavale, appreciate your time. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thank you for taking some time to chat.
Of course. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Of course. There goes Dr. Gangavale from Ortho Virginia taking some time out of his morning to chat with us. We greatly appreciated some very, very great insights on back, spinal injuries, things of that sort, and was very, very, very good. So we're going to take not a quick timeout. We're going to do our sports update here, update you what you may have missed around the wide world of sports.
This is your Fitz the Bill morning update. Getting you caught up on some of the biggest stories in sports.
All right, so the MLB playoffs got underway yesterday, and man, oh man, did we see it all, from great pitching duels to offensive explosions to questionable managerial decisions. We start in the Bronx, where the Yankees fell 3-1 to the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees were up 1-0 going into the seventh. Then New York's manager, Aaron Boone, pulled Max Fried, who had been dealing and showed no signs of slowing down. After he was pulled, the Red Sox scored twice in the seventh, once more in the ninth to win. In Cleveland, the Tigers got an absolute beauty from Tarek Skubal. He racked up 14 Ks, the most in a road playoff game since Roger Clemens did it in 2000. Tigers took game one of the three-game set, 2-1. The Chicago Cubs had a gritty 3-1 win inside of the comfy confines of Wrigley Field over the San Diego Padres. Seiya Suzuki and Carson Kelly went yard to power Chicago to the win. Dodgers hung up 10 runs on the Reds, who could only muster 5. LA will take a 1-0 series lead into game two. In the WNBA, star player Nafisha Collier went scorched earth on the WNBA yesterday. Collier's Lynx lost in the playoffs due to a pretty questionable missed foul call. Officiating has been a sticking point this entire season, and Collier took the gloves off in her exit interview in front of the press yesterday and handed it to the WNBA and Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. In a 4-minute-long statement, Collier stated at one point, quote, "We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world." In WNBA playoff action, the Aces down the Fever 107-98 in Vegas to win the series 3-2, punched the Aces tickets to the WNBA Finals. In the NFL, Tyreek Hill's surgery went well according to his agent. He is expected to play in 2026. San Francisco 49er quarterback Brock Purdy is unsure whether he will play on Thursday night. He said, quote, "Honestly, Thursday night football games, they come quick, so anything can happen. But I'm still hopeful that I can. We'll see." The Baltimore Sun is reporting Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is out this week and could miss the next 2 to 3 weeks with the hamstring strain that sidelined him in the third quarter of the Ravens' loss to the Chiefs on Sunday. And in college football coaching news, former JMU quarterback coach and current UCLA offensive coordinator Tino Sunseri, he is gone as the offensive coordinator at UCLA. The Bruins and Sunseri mutually agreed to part ways, the team announced yesterday. Sunseri was in his first season as an offensive coordinator after spending the last season at Indiana. The Bruins offense is averaging just 14.3 points per game. All right, that's what you may have missed in the wide world of sports. We've got a great show coming up with you today. Beginning in hour number 2, Trinity Football's Carson Parks and head coach Sam Mickens will be joining for our Talk of the Town Player of the Week. Carson Parks, over 200 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns in Trinity's win over the weekend. We're also tentatively scheduled, just to kind of keep with that high school stuff going, tentatively scheduled to head out to Huguenot this week for their showdown with LC Bird on Friday night under the lights. We will officially confirm that once we are able to officially confirm that. But that's that it's down on the calendar, and that's when you know it's pretty close to being 100% confirmed. And coming up at 9:15 in hour number 2, we'll be joined Richmond football head coach Russ Huesman. We'll talk about the Spiders' narrow win over Howard and the expectations for the team heading into Patriot play against Bucknell. On the other side of this break, we're going to be doing a giveaway, so you don't want to miss it. And we will be talking all things Virginia Tech budget as they officially approved that massive growth to their athletic department budget. We'll talk about that on the other side. You're listening to Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond on this Wednesday morning.
Traffic reports on 106.1.
Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
World Class Courts is proud to be a featured sponsor of the 2025 River City Tennis Open, October 3rd to 5th at the University of Richmond West Hampton Courts. We specialize in providing everything you need for any type of tennis court, whether it's clay, hard, or hybrid surfaces. As a manufacturer and supplier, World Class Courts offers surfaces and equipment for every kind of tennis court. We invite you to come and see our recent resurfacing work at the University of Richmond. For more information, visit us online at worldclasscourts.com. Richmond Kickers soccer games in the fall is a RVA tradition. Just a few games left at City Stadium this season. Reserve your tickets online at richmondkickers.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
In sports, it's the dream team. And if your car is out of warranty, there's a team for that as well. You, the driver, your mechanic, and Endurance to pay for the repair bills. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With With an Endurance Auto Protection Plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-454-4558. That's 800-454-4558. 800-454-4558.
1061 ESPN Traffic.
An accident has the right shoulder blocked off heading north on 95 just before Maury Street, causing slow-moving traffic from Bells Road. Beware of some congestion heading south on 95 as well between Chamberlain Avenue and Hermitage. Congestion heading west on 64 between Mechanicsville Turnpike and 95 interchange. And we're seeing backup on Powhite Parkway heading northbound between Midlothian Turnpike and Chippenham.
Stats optional. Opinions guaranteed. Matt Josephs brings you border to border. 3 to 4 on 1061 ESPN Richmond, where Richmond talks sports.
Welcome back in Wednesday, October 1st morning. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, Fitz the Bill, Allen alongside as we get you set for a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Appreciate Dr. Anoop Gungavali from Ortho, Virginia, taking some time out of his Wednesday morning to talk about some back spine injuries. I will say we've had a knee doctor come in, ankle, everything, where it lined up with what was happening in the world of sports. Thankfully, there haven't been a lot of back injuries so far to begin the 2025 football season. Matthew Stafford, he had his preseason back issues. Micah Parsons had a tight back, but it seems like those things have gone away as the season has gone on. Kind of crazy. Maybe they just didn't want to practice in preseason. So got to talk into the nitty gritty of back injuries and things of that sort, rather than things that are, happening in the world of football, but kind of a blessing because you don't want back injuries in NFL. All right, Richmond, get ready because the Green Top Outdoor Expo is back this weekend up in Ashland at Green Top. And the best part, it's a free event. It's absolutely free to attend. 2 full days of the ultimate outdoor experience, October 4th and 5th. That's Saturday and Sunday. There will be things to do for the entire family. The Kids Zone, it has a scavenger hunt. The ultimate air dogs, plus the famous truckload sale. There will be something for anyone and everyone, whether you're into hunting, fishing, boating, or just love the outdoors. There's something for you at the Green Top Expo. And here's your chance to make it even better. Be the first caller right now, 804-327-0888. The phone lines are now officially open. And if you are the first caller at 804-327-0888, you'll win a pair of VIP tent tickets for Sunday. That means shade, seating, exclusive access to all of the VIP things that you want. The event itself is free, so come on out, hang out at Green Top at their Outdoor Expo on Saturday and Sunday. But if you want a little bit of an elevated experience, call in now to win VIP tent tickets for Sunday at the Green Top Outdoor Expo. First caller, 804-327-0888. We gave away a pair of tickets to Kobe yesterday. Will it be you today? Everything's happening this Saturday and Sunday at Green Top in Ashland. Bring the family, bring your friends, and remember, it is completely free. That spells free to get in. Don't miss Virginia's premier outdoor event, the Green Top Outdoor Expo. Call in now. The phone lines are open. First caller gets a pair of free VIP Sunday tickets. The event itself is free, but if you want a little elevated experience, call in. Oh, okay. And we have given away the tickets. Andrew, congratulations to Andrew for winning the pair of tickets. It was Kobe yesterday. It's Andrew today. You'll have another chance to win a pair of VIP tickets. Might shake it up. Maybe tomorrow it'll be caller number 2 or 3. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow morning. But congratulations to Kobe. Congratulations to Andrew for winning pairs of the VIP tent tickets for the Green Top Outdoor Expo on Sunday. The Green Top Outdoor Expo completely free. The VIP tent tickets, a little elevated experience, and you can only win them right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. So appreciate everyone for calling in. You'll have another chance tomorrow and 2 more chances when we're live out at Green Top on Friday. So tune in every morning in hour number 1, and we'll be giving away these tickets. All right, so yesterday, the Virginia Tech Board of Visitors approved a budget increase to the athletic department. If you haven't seen that by now and you're a Virginia Tech fan, or heck, if you're a football fan in the state of Virginia, I'm shocked if you haven't seen it by now, but let me be the one to break the news to you. They passed it with an impressive 13-1 vote. And just like that, with a snap of the fingers, Virginia Tech is the most appealing job out on the market right now. Now, could that change? Sure. But right now, and it's going to be tough to overtake Virginia Tech, they're the most attractive job out on the market. The plan outlines how the Hokies are going to add $229.2 million. You heard that right, $229.2 million to the athletic budget over the next 4 years, which is extremely impressive. Equally impressive is that they are going to begin with adding $47.1 million in the 2026 fiscal year. And there is a fairly large but here because of the $229.2 million, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this right near the top, of that $229.2 million, $120 million is covered by what Virginia Tech is calling philanthropy. You know, that's the money that Virginia Tech doesn't have right now, but they really want to get. They really are hoping they're going to get, and that's going to come in through probably the likes of big-time donors, small donors, increased revenue through maybe sponsorships and other things of that sort, just ways to bring in money. So that's going to be $120 million of that $229.2 million. They've only got $129.2 million only. That's still a lot of gosh dang money. But they've only got $129.2 million currently, quote unquote, in their pockets. They still need to go out and get the other $120 million. But the remaining money is going to come from institutional support, bridge funding, and there is a or I guess it's passed now, but the student fees will increase at Virginia Tech $100 per student, and I believe that's $100 per student over the next 4 years. So $100 this year, next, so on and so forth. So by the end, a $400 student free increase, which is not that crazy. I believe Virginia Tech had the lowest amount of student fees among all of the state public schools. So not necessarily the craziest thing, but that is the reason why that one vote against this budget increase came out. The person is pretty outspoken at keeping Virginia Tech affordable for Virginia families, and she thought that raising of the student fees kind of goes against that, which is why she voted against it. But that is where a large sum of the money, just about over half, is coming from: institutional support, bridge funding, and that student fee increase. With the increase in this budget beginning in the 2026 fiscal year, the Hokies will have an estimated athletics budget of $190.1 million. That number throws them right into the neighborhood of Clemson and Florida State atop the ACC. Good for a top 3 budget among the ACC's public institutions. We say public because we don't know what the private schools are doing. And it's a far cry from being dead last among public schools, which are what they've been the last couple of years, and 14th overall. They were at a $122 million budget, jumping up to $190.1 in the 2026 fiscal year. A monumental shift. And don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say that. The premier football program in the Commonwealth, and I understand some UVA fans, especially after this last weekend, some JMU fans after their success after jumping up to the FBS, may get mad at me for saying it, but the facts are the facts. Virginia Tech is the premier football brand, the premier football program, whatever you want to call it, in the Commonwealth. And that program just went from basement dweller to penthouse living. Now, penthouse living with that budget is going to put them among the tops of the ACC, and it should attract a lot more and a lot more diverse talent into their coaching search. They can go far and wide with who they are looking to bring in as their next head coach after firing Brent Pry. No longer are you just looking at young up-and-coming coaches. Maybe you can try and poach a coach from another school, maybe a smaller Power 4 team. Heck, maybe another Power 4 team similar to you, because now you're the big dogs on campus. Overnight, you just went from the little guy, the little chihuahua, to the pit bull on campus. However, I will say I'm still in the boat that this hire should be a young and up-and-coming coach who's proven to know how to rebuild a program, reinvigorate a fan base, because while it's awesome that they'll have an injection of over $200 million over the next 4 years, just about half of that money does not exist. They do not have it right now, and they will need to raise it. And you do that by winning. You do that by bringing in a coach that knows how to reinvigorate a fan base, a donor base, and bring in more money for you. So bringing in someone fresh is going to be pivotal if Virginia Tech wants to have success and actually see through this budget increase over the next 4 years. I also think bringing in fresh blood can kind of liven up the place. One thing, though, is a must with this hire. It needs to be a head coach, either a sitting head coach, a former head coach, probably not a former head coach, because retreads hardly ever work. You look around the country right now, Manny Diaz is at Duke. Rich Rod at West Virginia is off to a slower start than anticipated. Dan Mullen at UNLV might be the only successful retread there is, but that's because he went from SEC to ESPN to the Mountain West. But Virginia Tech showing a ton of investment, showing a ton of that into this job, into this program, and it makes it so much more attractive. Every wannabe head coach out there is going to want to be the head coach of the Hokies. Overnight, Virginia Tech, Allen, went from a basement dweller to penthouse living, and they are now the most attractive job currently out on the market.
Yeah, I'm going to push back a little and say that Arkansas is more attractive, and it's just a matter of when they spend their money. But, I mean, they've got billionaires galore as their donors, and I think they'll probably make the aggressive push before Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech will either be second, depending on what Florida does, or probably in competition with whoever Arkansas is trying to go get.
Arkansas, are the donors gonna put it towards football though? Because the donors have put it so much towards basketball.
Yeah, I mean Jerry Jones and the Tyson family, the Waltons, they've got enough.
That's not fair.
I mean, I'm just letting you know
that's not fair. You can't have three.
I'm telling you, man, that's who they got. That's why
who they have.
That's why Calipari was quick to shift over.
Why did Sam Pittman suck?
Why did Sam Pittman suck? I think Sam Pittman sucked because he was old school, stuck in his ways.
You think he was just an old guy? See, I assume maybe this is my own bias showing. I like Sam Pittman as a coach. I just didn't think he had the institutional support from Arkansas.
No, I think he had the support. I just think it was just like on the field, like schematically, and just his approach is just dated, or is just not ready for that ascension level of SEC play. Because I mean, I bashed DeBoer, but he ain't that bad.
I just think, yeah, that's true. DeBoer's just an easy target.
Yeah.
See, I just think that Arkansas is such a weird dumpster fire. Like bringing Bobby Petrino back as your interim head coach after everything that's gone on around him, just like screams to me that you're not taking things seriously. Where Virginia Tech to me is screaming, we're buttoned up, we are taking this seriously. And I think that attracts more coaches than whatever's going on in Arkansas. At Arkansas.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's really the allure of the SEC. Expectations are probably in the middle when it comes to Arkansas in an SEC job. Like if you go to Florida, they're going to expect you to be in the national championship in like 3 years.
Yeah.
If you go to Arkansas, you'll probably get equal to or more support than you would at Florida without the expectation of having to win a national championship. They're content with the big game here or there. Fayetteville is a wonderful venue for college football. Which would be definitely attractive. And their facilities are some of the best that money can buy as well. And like I said, to me, the component of Jerry Jones, like he's a vocal advocate for their football program coming back. So even if they didn't have the Tyson family and the Waltons, he would probably do it himself just to get that football program back to where it was.
He would spend more time focused on that team than he would on his own team.
I wouldn't doubt that
on
he
his
is.
own Dallas Cowboys team.
That sounds like it for real.
Arkansas, granted, everything I'm probably saying about Arkansas goes for Virginia Tech as well, but gotta open up the pocketbook a little bit because Sam Pittman was making base pay $5 million last year, 6.4 at the end of his tenure there, which would put him around the top 5 highest paid coaches in the ACC. But like in the SEC, that's kind of back of the pack. So you need to open up your pocketbook a little bit more to bring in a bigger coach at Arkansas. I just feel Arkansas is a bit of a dumpster fire. They're a little unbuttoned. They're right now out at the bar with 2 buttons unbuttoned, where Virginia Tech, they've got a nice old fashioned in a suit and they know what they want. They know what they're doing. All that to say is their athletic director kind of seems like a lame duck. Like he's going to be fired at any moment. So maybe that makes it all the more weird. And with that institutional support, with Virginia Tech showing that they mean business, I think that is a huge plus for the Hokies.
Yeah, no, there's nothing negative about what took place. It's good to see it was pretty much like support across the board. Because if you want to compete, that's what you got to do now, right?
I do love all the people that are like, well, what about the faculty? And it's like, I'm sorry, but like they have shown time and time again, they as in kind of the overarching rulers of college athletics and colleges in general, they don't care about them. Unless you are like a UVA or something. Like Virginia Tech wants to win football games. They are going to invest in football. Whether that's good or not, that's a completely different topic. But doing that straw man argument is just going to get you nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking about here is on the field.
And
academics be damned in this particular case. They're not looking to up their presence on the academic side of things.
Well, also the argument here as well is, athletics, quote unquote, is the front porch of your university. If you're more successful in athletics, you bring in more tuition dollars, you're able to do more research, be able to bring in more money. So what the argument is rising tide lifts all boats, where if we have a successful athletic program, we'll get more eyes, we'll be better off in the long run. And I think that's bearing true with some schools. I mean, you see it when VCU goes on their Final Four runs or something like that. Applications jump over 200% the next year. Same thing happened with JMU, and they had their successful. I mean, granted, it was just one win, so they didn't see it as much as VCU's crazy run to the Final Four. But you get a lot of free media with it, so I think that's what Virginia Tech's kind of gunning for. All right. We're going to get a quick break in here. There's some breaking news that's going to be coming across pretty well for news or snooze. That's coming up on the other side of the break right here, 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Catch up on the latest horse racing news with Off to the Races live broadcast, 10 to 11 every Saturday morning on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
In sports, it's the dream team. And if your car is out of warranty, there's a team for that as well. You, the driver, your mechanic, and Endurance to pay for the repair bills. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance auto protection plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-454-4558. That's 800-454-4558. 800-454-4558.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
Get the latest update on Henrico County sports tournaments, happenings, and future events on ESPN Richmond's newest segment, the Henrico Huddle. Join Henrico Sports and Entertainment Authority Executive Director Dennis Bickmeyer as he sits down with Bob Black on the Sports Huddle. For more information on Henrico Sports and Event Center calendar, visit online at henricosea.com or tune in to the last Monday of each month for the Henrico Huddle.
Cooler fall temperatures are coming, and that means perfect weather for a round of golf at Queenfield Golf Club. Queenfield is a beautifully secluded 18-hole course just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville that offers a spacious driving range, practice greens and bunkers, and professionally maintained golf course. Take the afternoon off or schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve your spot online at queenfieldgolf.com. Queenfield Golf Club, RVA's best kept secret.
Previously on Clinton and Friends.
I would like to say mea culpa, personally, to Lions fans and anybody who considers themselves a Lions supporter. I was down on them. I thought that with the loss of both of their coordinators, that maybe that team wouldn't have the same mettle, never mind the same strategic advantage, but I was wrong.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Weather reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
106.1 ESPN weather.
It's currently 63 degrees and cloudy with a high today of 73 and a low of 57. We're seeing overcast skies to continue throughout the rest of the morning and into early afternoon, with the sun starting to poke out around 2 p.m., followed by clear skies for the rest of the evening. We're feeling a consistent northeast breeze averaging at about 9 miles per hour, with gusts up to 23 miles per hour, and lower humidity today averaging from 50 to 75%.
From rush hour to Richmond Roar, Bob Black's voice is your sun-splashed co-pilot. Dive into all the stats, fiery takes, and the kind of energy that beats brake lights. Weekdays, 4 to 6 p.m., your drive's new favorite huddle.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill on this Wednesday, October 1st morning. We have flipped the calendar to October, a new month name at the top, which means there's a lot to talk about here in the wide world of sports with Newsers News. We've got MLB, we've got NFL, and breaking news, Alan. You're going to tell me if this is newsworthy or snoozeworthy. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Dylan Gabriel to start for the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco benched.
It's not going to change anything, but I mean, he gives him a better shot than Flacco was. I mean, clearly Flacco is, the age was showing. They need somebody that can extend plays at least a tenth of a second. But I mean, you know, I've been on record saying I think Shador was better than Dylan Gabriel as a prospect. I don't understand how Dylan Gabriel got drafted. I really don't understand. So I guess we'll see.
Hey, but he chose. I said this to you at the break, and you pushed back a little bit. And this is one of the things we disagree on. He chose to not go to the Ravens, so he wouldn't back up Lamar Jackson.
I just don't understand why anybody would think that's a good move.
Because Shador isn't a starter.
Yeah, but I don't want to be a lifetime. I want at least a chance to start. You're never going to get a chance to start.
I don't know if you know this. Your rookie contract is only for 3 or 4 years when you're a 6th round draft pick. Maybe even, actually, it's even less than that. So you can leave your team after that contract's up. You can learn behind Lamar, and heck, he would be, if he had chosen to go with the Ravens and gotten on the roster, a couple of ifs there, but he would be starting for the next 3 weeks.
The next 3 weeks. He'll be starting in the next 3 weeks, probably with the Browns.
Yeah,
and be able to actually stay a starter, or at least have a chance to stay a starter.
In theory, you're getting a lot better coaching in Baltimore than you are in Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. But
also, you're a 6th round draft pick. Who are you to tell teams who you're drafting? Come on, bro.
You don't tell them, but
he
should
did tell them.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying you should have the option though. Like if you don't want to play for somebody, then that's your prerogative. If you want to take the long road, I mean, heck, we had people saying Caleb Williams was considering going in as a undrafted free agent so he could pick his team.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, so I mean, if those are the options you choose to take, that's fine. But like saying that you don't want to back up a perennial 2-time MVP, man, is like, okay, I wouldn't either. I honestly wouldn't either. I don't want to back up Lamar. I want a chance to try to play.
I get that if you are a 1st round draft pick, if you are a 1st round talent.
Yeah,
if you showed that he is not that.
But Shador is talented enough to be an NFL starter.
Yeah, okay. So's Cooper Rush.
Yeah, and Cooper Rush
is a backup for the Ravens.
Not as decorated as Shador.
What has Shador done?
He was pretty good in college.
get pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not good enough to dictate where he goes.
Yeah, that's fine. But you like just take that part out. Why would anybody who thinks they're good enough to start want to back up a 2-time MVP? Like, you're going to sit for the rest of your life, basically.
You're going to sit for the first 2 years of your career. You're going to get a couple of spot opportunities, and then you're going to sign
and be
a
used
new
as
contract.
trade bait.
Yeah,
you're
going to be used as trade bait in Cleveland.
Yeah, and you can get more of a chance to actually hit the field within your first 4 years.
You're right. As a QB3, you're getting more
even
chances.
up your value a little bit
As
when
a
you get your
QB2.
next contract.
You're getting more. All right, we'll agree to disagree on this.
That's fine, but like people are like knocking him for like, oh, look, he doesn't want to play. That's not an opportunity, man. Like you're not giving me an opportunity to play and succeed by telling me like you're going to be behind Lamar Jackson. Yeah, for the rest of my career.
No, for the next 2 to 3 years during your contract, and then you will be able to sign somewhere else after learning under Harbaugh and Lamar, arguably one of the better coaches in the NFL and the best, if not second best quarterback in the NFL. You get an opportunity to learn behind him. You're not stuck there for the rest of your career. Then you can choose where you go after that.
I'd rather take the Baker Mayfield route.
He's not even taking that route. He's taking the QB3 route.
I'm just saying to go to Cleveland and then eventually leave Cleveland.
Yeah, I would have rather if your plans to eventually leave whoever drafted you, Baltimore is objectively the much better spot to do it. Because look, he's the QB3. They're starting Dylan Gabriel over him. That might be a coaching thing. That might be a them mistake. But if he had gone to Baltimore, they would have placed him as QB2 over Cooper Rush. And he would be starting for the next 3 weeks.
We're in an era where talent evaluators think that people like Browning are capable starters to get teams into the playoff. I mean, having Shedeur Sanders graded as a 6th-round pick does not surprise me in today's landscape. They're wrong. They're wrong. Okay. And people are going to find out one way or another. He could be an absolute disaster, but he had the talent coming out of college to play on a NFL roster as a starter.
My fingers are crossed that Dylan Gabriel does not succeed these next 2 to 3 weeks, and then they go with Shedeur to finish out the season, and he succeeds. That would be awesome. That's what I hope.
Spencer Rattler is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
Tyler Shuck
for the worst team in the NFL.
Tyler Shuck was drafted in the second round.
By the worst team in the NFL.
I know, man.
You're right there. I get that. I would take Shedeur over Shuck too, but Jesus. I mean, I just think it's wild to dictate where you go. All right, what else is happening on News or Snooze?
News or Snooze. We got hit the
News or Snooze.
There's a lot of things going on in News or Snooze. Speaking of, I didn't even pull it up, man. So that lets you know where we are with News or Snooze.
Hey, this one's for you too. Yankees Boone.
There we go.
Pulling Freed as bullpen fumbles game 1. You emailed me maybe the fastest email back I've ever gotten from Alan, full disclosure. And he said, Aaron Boone blowing a game. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, what? I would have never thunk it. Aaron Boone overthinking a situation and just doing what he's always done as a manager. Lane and I had that conversation at the game when we saw him out Friday night. He's a big Yankees fan from CBS 6.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what he does, man. This is why it's frustrating. This is why it's confusing, why he's still able to like manage this team. I don't understand
it, man. Sometimes I think I had this rant when I first began this show where analytics are ruining sports. I love analytics. I get why they're there. I think we even cut it into a promo, but this is just another example of analytics ruining the game. I think Aaron Boone got too cute.
I don't understand the concept of a pitch count in the playoffs.
Same.
Like we are here to win, and you game one
to win the game.
In game 1, you'll say, "Oh, he was at 99 pitches." All right, but if you need to win in game 3, he's on a short rest, and you're going to throw him back out there regardless.
Win the game in front of you.
Yeah,
like in playoff baseball, it's win the game in front of you.
And he's talking about he was in jams. He was getting out of them. Like he's a good pitcher. You 8 years and $100 million plus that you signed him for, and you're going to pull him.
It's insane. He went 6 1/3 scoreless, and then when he left the game, they went to the bullpen. And guess what?
My favorite part of them going to the bullpen is pulling out a guy, because we're in baseball. We love our stats in baseball. His ERA since he's come off the injury is over 5. And this is who you pull out.
They went to Luke Weaver. He walks the first batter he saw.
Shocker.
He allowed a double.
Shocker.
And Masataka Yoshida pinch hit 2-run single.
His ERA since June is over 5, I believe.
And then David Bednar gave up back-to-back hits in the 9th. You know what Max Fried did? Not that.
Yeah, man.
Aaron Boone said, I felt his command was not as good those final few. It's maybe not, but it was better than Luke Weaver's.
And am I tripping? I have to go back and look, but wasn't this against the 8th and 9th batter and you took him out? He's your ace.
Exactly.
This isn't Kershaw going against Holiday or whoever was at the top of the lineup for the Cardinals.
This is going to upset you. Aaron Boone said he's just making so many big pitches and his stuff was good. He gave us what we needed and felt really good about the outing he put forth, but I felt pretty convicted. Especially we got the double play. It's like, let's go get one more hitter and be good. Why not go out? Like you go out, he gets the first batter of the 7th inning down. So he's gone 6 1/3. He hasn't shown signs of getting hit around a lot, things of that sort. And I get hindsight's 2020, but you go right to the bullpen and Luke Weaver walks the first batter, then allows a double, then a single. The first 3 batters Luke Weaver faced all get on base. You're telling me Max Fried wouldn't have done better?
Yeah, it's not even hindsight. There's pathology here, man. You overmanage.
It's so insane. Like, just hands off, man. Just wipe your hands of it. And
we know you're the manager.
You lost this series because of this mistake in game 1.
We'll see how it plays out. I hope it doesn't, because it's shorter leash in these first games. But I would hate for that to be like the game you gave away, and But hey,
I think it is the game they're going to be giving away. Like that just stinks. But that feels like what the Yankees have become these last couple of years.
I used to hate a good team. I don't know what I hate now. It bothers me. Number 2, 49ers. Saleh admits he should have used better words with Jaguars Cohen.
Snoozeworthy, but hilarious. Duval. He was looking back and wasn't saying that his words that he used in their post-game altercation, where I think his quotes were, I will end your life.
Yeah.
He was referring to how he referred to the Jaguars as sign stealers.
As nice cheaters.
He said, I should have used better words because I was trying to compliment Liam Cohen.
He and to his credit, he did say that when they were having their little midfield tussle. He said, I was trying to compliment you.
Yeah, but
explicit.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't be putting sign stealing into a compliment.
I've never heard stealing being used in a complimentary manner.
Yeah, right. Like, man, I was just trying to compliment the burglar that stopped into our jewelry store the other day. Like, what are we doing?
Maybe on a romantic side, stealing somebody's heart. But other than that, no, I don't think that's a compliment. Yeah, I don't think that's a compliment.
Okay, what's
that's
next?
funny. Number 3, which is by far the funniest. Jerry Jones' response to Micah Parsons. He told me to lose his number, so I did. Jerry Jones listens.
Quote, when you don't have this is him talking about the 40-40 tie about Micah. This was on the radio show that he does every day. I guess I don't know when he does it, but it feels like it's every day because there's quotes coming out from it every day. Quote, when you don't have a player anymore, he's lining up directly against you. Plus you don't have him on your defensive side of the ball. Now that's a real good test. And I'm glad that everybody got to see where it goes. And it left me feeling good about our trade. It left you feeling good about your trade? Brother, you allowed 40 points. You feeling good about your trade?
Your defense is ranked 31st or 32nd, depending on the week, how the Bengals play.
Romeo Doubs, I'm a fantasy owner of Romeo Doubs. He's not necessarily the best wide receiver out there. He scored 3 tutties on you, and you're feeling good about the trade. Your offense has to score 45 a game to win. Come on, man.
If Micah wasn't there to make that play in overtime, they probably actually win. Yeah. So
Micah has made multiple game-sealing sacks like that already this season.
Yeah, Micah's Wyatt tied and didn't result in a loss.
But he feels pretty good about the trade.
Of course, he'll always feel good. Well, what are we more likely to get?
I heard what are we most likely to get?
Me to admit that I was wrong about the Chiefs, or Jerry to admit he was wrong about the Micah Parsons trade?
You admit you're wrong about the Chiefs?
I know, man. I'm still holding on.
Look. I heard a conspiracy theory where Jerry Jones did that Dallas documentary and everything. It was a very well done documentary, but it was definitely whatever. It was a puff piece on Jerry, but it made him walk down memory lane and remember about the Herschel Walker trade. And the conspiracy theory is that he became infatuated after remembering about the Herschel Walker trade, that he wanted to recreate it.
Every time he walks into that stadium, he should remember the trade, because the trade is how that stadium got built.
But also that Herschel Walker trade was a highway robbery. You did not you got pennies on the dollar back for Micah Parsons, which is insane because Micah has now come out and said that he was willing to play this season. Like he was going to play for Dallas, whether or not they gave him a contract or not. Now, he's saying that on a new team, so you can say really whatever, and we have no way of proving it right. But I feel like Micah's telling the truth. He would have played, and so you traded pennies on the dollar for a player that was willing to play for you this season.
Yeah, I feel like he's telling the truth because
he just didn't want to go through preseason and get hurt then.
The value for him is up as long as he stayed healthy. I mean, you hold out as long as you can so you can get the money you want from your team. But like Micah Parsons is productive. So if he steps on the field, his value is going to go through the roof. And he's still under 27. So even if he'd gotten injured, there still would have been potential for him not to have but so much drop off financially. So yeah, the idea that he would hold out an entire year, I never considered that.
But Jerry Jones, he told me to lose his number, man. So I did.
And I actually appreciate that kind of response. Go, Jerry. Jerry, listen.
Jerry finally listened, but man,
that's funny.
Also, why would you need his number anymore? He doesn't play for you. You've ruined that bridge. Like, yeah, I would expect you to lose that.
Also,
number.
You're lying. He still has a luxury box. So I know you have his number.
At least someone in the sales department has to call him on him and make sure if he, especially around this time of year, you're calling in, hey, I hope you enjoyed the first couple of games. You want to renew? You know they're doing that call, and they're going to be shocked.
Could you imagine if they automatically called Micah?
Some sales assistant, some poor sales assistant. They're like, all right, you got a cold call today. And he's like, all right. Man. And he's going through their list, and he goes, hi, this is Jake from the Dallas Cowboys. And then, is this Micah?
Come back, Micah.
Hey, come back. I'll give you half my salary if you come back.
That's funny.
I'll give you half this commission check if you re-up your salary, your luxury box for next season. Come on back, Micah.
He should buy it just to be petty.
I would appreciate that level of pettiness and give it away to opposing fans every week.
Well, apparently he was offering to let his former teammates use it.
Oh,
which I thought was nice, but I don't know. All I saw up there was Packer wearing Parson family people. So who knows?
Maybe for that one game and that one game only.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, we're not going to do that. So coming up in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill, we've got Carson Parks, talk of the town student athlete. He's a running back for Trinity Episcopal. He is coming off of a 222-yard performance on 34 carries, 3 touchdowns in a rain-soaked win on Saturday over Flint Hill. It was a 45-28 win that moved the Trinity Episcopal Titans to 5-0 on the season. Carson Parks joins us along with head coach Sam Mickens to begin hour number 1. Russ Huesman, the head football coach of Richmond, will join at around 9:15, and we've got so much more to dive into in hour number 2. You do not want to miss it. And we want to say thanks again to Green Top for giving away a pair of tickets. Congratulations to Andrew, our winner today. Congratulations to Kobe, our winner yesterday. If you missed our Green Top giveaway, we're giving away a pair of VIP tent tickets for Sunday. Just as a reminder, the event on Saturday and Sunday is completely free, but we're giving away tickets to the VIP tent, the very important people tent. We'll be doing another giveaway tomorrow morning in hour number 1. You don't want to miss it. So be sure to tune in between the hour of 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. so you can hear when we do the call to call, and then you can try and win your pair of Green Top VIP tent tickets for Sunday. We're giving away a pair tomorrow. We're giving away 2 pairs on Friday when we are out there live. All right, so stick around. We'll be back with more Fitz the Bill, hour number 2, coming up.
Wes Atia and Joyner Fine Properties presents the River City Tennis Open October 3rd through 5th at the University of Richmond Westham facility. For more information, visit rivercitytennisopen.com.
Cooler fall temperatures are coming, and that means perfect weather for a round of golf at Queenfield Golf Club. Queenfield is a beautifully secluded 18-hole course just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville that offers a spacious driving range, practice greens and bunkers, and professionally maintained golf course. Take the afternoon off or schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve your spot online at queenfieldgolf.com. Queenfield Golf Club, RVA's best kept secret.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
In sports, it's the dream team. And if your car is out of warranty, there's a team for that as well. You, the driver, your mechanic, and Endurance to pay for the repair bills. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance auto protection plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-454-4558. That's 800-454-4558. 800-454-4558.
Traffic reports on 106.1 ESPN Richmond, brought to you by Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, a premier Lennox dealer. Online at hermanallenplumbing.com.
The 7th annual River City Tennis Open was created to support local charities benefiting local youth organizations in RVA, October 3rd through 5th at UR Tennis Facility. Online at rivercitytennisopen.com. Henrico's Sports and Entertainment Authority Executive Director Dennis Bickmeyer joins Bob Black for the Henrico Huddle, ESPN Richmond's newest monthly feature.
From the ESPN studio, presented by Ortho Virginia. Find one of Ortho Virginia's orthopedic locations at orthovirginia.com. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 106.1 ESPN. You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill on this October 1st morning. Appreciate you clocking in, getting your day started with us. 106.1 ESPN Richmond, the ESPN Richmond app, and of course, ESPNRichmond.com. Coming to you live from the Ortho Virginia studios in the capital of the Commonwealth. We're also streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to watch the stream, just type in ESPN Richmond. We'll pop right on up, and you can watch the stream live, and you can be part of the show that way by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And if you're subscribing over there on YouTube, be sure to head on over to Instagram and give us a follow there, ESPN Richmond, and Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA. That's Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA. Give us a follow over there. And that's where you can find all of our Talk of the Town content, specifically our post-game Friday night games, our food reviews, pregame. A shout out to Atlee. They have taken the number 1 spot, right, edging out just barely Thomas Dale with our food reviews. We're looking to head on over to Huguenot as they play host to LC Bird this Friday, working to officially confirm that. I got a couple other games potentially we will be heading over to, but it's looking like Huguenot, LC Bird. So give us a follow, Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA, to find all of our Talk of the Town content over there as well. The Talk of the Town Student Athlete of the Week for this week is Carson Parks, running back for Trinity Episcopal. We caught up with him and his head coach, Sam Mickens, following Trinity's 45-28 win over Flint Hill. Trinity now 5-0 on the season, and on Saturday, Carson Parks, they've got a 2-headed running back system going in there. Head coach Sam Mickens compared it to what the Detroit Lions have going on with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Carson Parks is just one half of that potent backfield, but he was electric on Saturday through the rain, through the muck that it was in that game. He had over 200 yards on the ground on 34 carries and 3 touchdowns. He was the offensive force for Trinity on Saturday in their 45-28 win over Flint Hill. So he got our Talk of the Town Student Athlete of the Week. If you want to nominate a student athlete for our Student Athlete of the Week, be sure to text in 804-327-0888. Let us know who you want to see, or you can DM us on Fitz the Bill ESPN RVA to keep us updated and let us know who you want to see spotlighted. But this week, it's the running back for Trinity. We caught up with him and his head coach, Sam Mickens. This was our conversation from yesterday ahead of practice.
From local legends to rising stars, these are the people and stories that are the talk of the town.
Fitz the Bill talk of the town player of the week, joined now Trinity Episcopal's running back Carson Parks, coming off of a 200-plus yard performance, 3 touchdowns. I believe he was 222 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Carson, appreciate you taking some time out of your morning to chat with us.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate this opportunity to be able to speak with you.
Yeah, of course. We've also got head coach Sam Mickens joining us of Trinity Episcopal as they're off to a 5-0 start here to begin 2025. Coach, appreciate your time as well.
Appreciate you.
So, Carson, I want to start here. Coming off of a 220-yard performance, I think now on the season you're averaging just about 125 yards per game if the stats I was looking up are correct. But in the game this last Saturday, what was working well for you there where you could get over 200 yards on the ground?
Well, I mean, the first big thing, our O-line, our front seven, we came into the game knowing that while it was raining, it was going to be pretty run heavy. So I just relied heavily on those front seven. And, I mean, my philosophy running is just get downhill. And, I mean, that was working well, running behind my shoulders. And just I trust those front seven. I practice with them every single day, obviously. So I know what they're able to do, and I trust them every single day of the week.
So coming into that game, you kind of had the expectation that you might be getting the rock a little bit more because it's going to be kind of bad conditions?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you also found the end zone 3 times. Was any of those your favorite? Was there one that stuck out during those 3 in the single game where you were like, that was my favorite one?
It might have been the first one. I got some good contact on that one, and that was following a touchdown of them. So it kind of got our ball rolling, and we got that momentum shift that we really, really needed.
Would you describe yourself as a runner who welcomes contact?
Absolutely.
Coach, you're laughing a little bit with that one. Is he a runner that is taking a lot of contact that worries you as the head coach sometimes?
No, he's built for it. I mean, he's put in a ton of work in the offseason, last 2 years. The makeup of kids, you can just tell their makeup. That's kind of like, we're looking at kids, where they can go to college, how far they can go, and the levels. When you get a kid with this type of makeup, you can't predict the level. I mean, they do all the measurables, and you got to run a 4 this, you got to run a 4 that, you got to be 6 foot this, but then you put the film on and you realize this kid can play at any level.
Coach, can you kind of describe the progress and the growth you've seen from Carson coming into this season and then through the first 5 weeks of the season this year?
To be honest with you, really isn't as much progress and growth as you think. I mean, you just have a really stupid head coach who wasn't playing him enough last year. So, I was the head coach. So
that would have been crazy if it was someone else.
Yeah, right. But really, it was just opportunity, and so the opportunity presented itself late in the season last year. He got in, and when you work hard and you're prepared, an opportunity presents itself, then you're able to take advantage of it. And it's just a testament to his hard work. And then went into the offseason and said, we kind of thought of having like a 2-back system, a little bit like Detroit, kind of a ground and pound, or however you want to look at it. And then a lightning, thunder and lightning. And so when you were saying he's averaging about 125 yards a game, I mean, at this point, if we wasn't splitting carries, he could be somewhere. He could be up around 150, 175 yards a game. But I'm really happy he had been splitting carries so that, that wear and tear hasn't really been on his body the way it could have been. So now that we're really ready for the stretch run with him.
Carson, when you got that opportunity late part of last season, going into the off season, and now being kind of that RB 1.1A or 1B, however you want to describe it, the Sonic or the Knuckles with the Detroit going along with it. How'd you make the most of that opportunity last season and then use it to kind of fuel yourself going into the off season?
I knew what I could do. I was confident in myself, and I was really, really just waiting for that opportunity to show all the work I've put in. I mean, this is like all I've really wanted all my life. So once I finally got this opportunity to show what I can do, I did what I could to make the most of it.
I think with the keeping it with that Detroit analogy, the Sonic and Knuckles. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the Sonic in that one, and David Montgomery's the Knuckles. Carson, which one are you?
Knuckles.
I had a feeling that was going to be the answer, but yeah. And now looking for these final 4 games of the season, what are you looking to accomplish as a team, Carson?
As a team, I mean, we got 4 big games coming up. I mean, 3 following this homecoming. We got our eyes set on this week, 1 game at a time. But I mean, obviously we got some big games. We need to prove ourselves, show what we know we can do. We're confident, and I mean, we know our abilities. It's just putting it out on the field, putting it on film, and letting everybody know.
Coach, coming off of the 45-28 win over Flint Hill, how are you guys looking to use that momentum moving forward into kind of the back half of the schedule?
Well, I'm really a baseball guy to begin with, so momentum's only as good as your next day's pitcher, right? And then if you take it that way in football, it's only as good as your next start. So, you know, in this past game, you want to talk about momentum. When we fumbled the kickoff, momentum gone. It was a touchdown. So we're going to go out today, and you know, like every day, we're going to have a good practice this afternoon, and that's what we're going to do. And then we'll hopefully get up the next day, and you know, kids go to school, have a good homecoming week, and then that afternoon they'll go out to practice, and that's just how we're going to approach it. And then hopefully, you know, you're prepared. And like I said earlier, as long as you prepare and do what's right, then good things typically happen.
Carson, you're a senior, right? Class of 26?
I am.
With it being homecoming and kind of having that extra type of pomp and circumstance around the game, how do you go ahead into the game and kind of block out the noise? How do you do that as a player?
Just kind of do what I do. I mean, obviously it's a big game, but it's homecoming. But it's just another game at this point. I just got to do what I know how to do and just stick true to myself.
It's so old school, isn't it?
Hey, I was about to say with that approach, I mean, you'll be set. You've
so
gotten
refreshing.
you've gotten the talking points down, man. I mean, you're a professional at this at this point.
But this is who he is. Like the talking points, it all sounds like coach points and coach speak, but this truly is who he is.
Carson, appreciate your time. Appreciate both of you guys' time. Can't wait to see what you guys do out there on Saturday against Anacostia. Homecoming game should be an electric atmosphere, and hopefully for you and your stablemate back there with your Sonic, both of you guys can go over 200 this Saturday. Appreciate your guys' time.
Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good day.
Appreciate Carson Parks and head coach Sam Mickens for taking some time out of the day to chat with us as Carson's coming off of a fantastic performance. It is a Trinity team that has run the ball extremely well this season. 143 total carries here through their first 5 games. Over 1,000 rushing yards. They're averaging 7.3 yards per carry, 209.6 per game. And they've got a homecoming showdown on Saturday, 1 p.m. against Anacostia. Should be a really, really solid game as Trinity looking to move to 6-0 on the season and then turn their attention to a 3-game stretch to finish out the year at St. Christopher's, at Glen Allen, and then home on November 1st with a rivalry matchup against Benedictine. So a fun 4 games left in the season for Trinity as they look to finish out on a high note. So appreciate Carson Parks and head coach Sam Mickens for taking some time out of their day to chat with us, as Carson Parks is our Talk of the Town Student Athlete of the Week. And Talk of the Town is brought to you by Dave & Buster's in Short Pump. Grab some food, crush a few arcade games, and maybe brag about your big win. We are where Richmond talks sports. They are where Richmond comes to play. Dave & Buster's in Short Pump, located at 4001 Brownstone Boulevard, Suite 101. Talk of the Town is also presented by Ortho Virginia. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, you can visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why stronger, starts here. So appreciate Dave and Buster's in Ortho, Virginia for presenting our Talk of the Town each and every week, and our Talk of the Town Game of the Week post-game interviews as well. If you want to find those, head on over to Instagram, Fitz the Bill, ESPN RVA over there. All right, we're going to get a quick break in, step aside, be back. Head football coach at Richmond, Russ Huesman, will be joining us to talk a little bit about the Spiders' 13-12 win over Howard on a Saturday and talk about their upcoming showdown at Bucknell as they get Patriot League play going again. They opened up the season against Lehigh in a Patriot League showdown, and now from here on out until the final week of the season, they'll be facing off against Patriot League opponents. It starts with Bucknell this Saturday as they hit the road and head on up there to try and move to 1-1 in Patriot League play. So Russ Huesman, our conversation with him, Aaron, on the other side of this commercial break.
Horse racing is back, and it's time to get ready for another Triple Crown season. Get the latest from the industry every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 with Off to the Races on 106.1 ESPN, presented by The Racing Biz. Nick Hahn and Frank Vespi bring you their insight and knowledge, talking with the people making the headlines, including jockeys, trainers, and owners. Plus, get the expert picks each week, including a visit by Derby Bill Watson. It's Off to the Races each Saturday morning at 10 on 106.1 ESPN, streaming live on the iHeartRadio app.
Soccer and RVA is winding down with just 2 regular season home games left this year. Make your plans now to catch the next Richmond Kickers home game, Saturday, October 4th versus 1 Knoxville SC. Help celebrate another great season with our annual RVA Craft Beer Festival, featuring local craft brews at City Stadium, presented by Bon Secures. Stop by early for happy hour beverage specials and RVA's best local food trucks. Reserve your tickets today at richmondkickers.com. And don't forget, at Kickers games, dogs are always welcome.
Herman Allen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has expert technicians, plus industry-leading Lennox equipment. Learn more about special saving opportunities online at HermanAllenPlumbing.com.
Hey, did you miss Clinton and Friends?
I don't personally need the brightest minds in America working on AI to improve baseball games. I understand why a lot of people think that this is necessary. I understand that there are a lot of people that are saying, thank God. I think ABS leads us to a place that we don't know what it's going to look like in 15 or 20 years. That's the part that kind of scares me, as somebody for whom baseball was my first love.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. The Rich Eisen Show.
So that's my top 5 MVP candidates through 2 weeks, and I'm glad I got it out of the way before Kurt joined us, because, again, Kurt would be like, what are you doing? Oh, is he already zoomed?
He's laughing right now.
Yeah, pop him on. Kurt, you're joining us next. But
yeah, but I was listening. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Thank you.
What we're doing.
See, I know my guy. All right, I know my guy. What are we doing? When Kurt Warner says, what are we doing, you know you're not doing something right. Yeah. Okay, very good.
The Rich Eisen Show from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
He loves sports. He loves talking about sports. And just like you, he's got a lucky jersey that hasn't been washed for 6 seasons.
It's going to smell like hot dog.
Jamie King is live weekday mornings from 7 to 8 on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Welcome in, Fitz the Bill on this morning. Joined now head football coach of the Richmond Spiders, Russ Huesman. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your morning to chat with us.
Oh, glad to be with you guys.
Coach, a 13-12 win over the weekend at Family Weekend against Howard. Coming out 1-point win, a fantastic fourth quarter comeback. How does it feel now after the emotions of the game have kind of worn off a little bit, coming out of that one with a 1-point win?
Well, I mean, it was a win. At the end of the day, when you add them all up, it counts. But, we got outplayed and outcoached by Howard. I know they're kicking themselves. They had so many opportunities to put us away and didn't do it. And we hung in there. Our players hung in there. I think they believed that we could win the thing. And 2 big plays by our defense, the pick, and then we returned that thing back down to the 40. And then the pick on about the 7-yard line, and got 2 scores there, and held up, missed a field goal at the end there, and we win a game.
Coach, I think after the game you said it's a resilient win, kind of what you just mentioned there as well, kind of believing that they were able to win despite kind of everything going against them for the first I don't know, 50 minutes of the game or so. Where does that resilience come from for this team?
You know, I think our team's confident in their abilities. They work hard. You know, they put a lot of effort into it. You know, the culture in the locker room is fantastic. You know, nobody's pointing fingers, offense to defense, whatever. You know, and you know, I don't know. They just kind of pulled it out somehow, some way. Like I said, probably shouldn't have. You know, if Howard makes a field goal, we probably don't pull it out. If, you know, they don't have those 2 turnovers, we definitely don't pull it out. So, you know, it was somehow all we felt like the whole time was we needed a play. And in my mind, I kept thinking, God, we got to have a defensive play, something on the defensive side of the ball to spark us. And they did it. And they normally do.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of big plays. I mean, how impressive or how impressed, I guess, have you been with the defense so far to start this season? I mean, it feels like they have been able to answer the bell each time that they've needed to give your team opportunities to win.
Yeah, they played good all year. You know, even you know, where we lose to North Carolina 41-6. You know, they defensively we played well. It doesn't sound like it, but we did some really good things, you know, against North Carolina. And, you know, and each and every week we come out of this thing and, you know, really the defense held them to 10 this week and 14 the previous week. And, you know, and 3 against Wofford, you know, they had a pick 6. So, you know, they've been keeping them out of the end zone and, you know, and playing pretty good. But we knew coming in our defense was going to be pretty good, and they got to continue that.
Yeah, I mean, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks. It pushed Howard back 38 yards with those 4 sacks. A blocked field goal in there as well, the special teams showing out. But how have you seen that group, the defense specifically, evolve through the season from that first week game against Lehigh to Saturday's game against Howard?
Well, I mean, even from the Lehigh game, I mean, we played really well. Defensively, you know, we're our front 7 really good. Our back end is young, inexperienced, but you know, we do enough up front. You know, harass the quarterback enough, defend the run game enough that you know takes a little bit of the pressure off our secondary. And you know, now our secondary's kind of got 5 games in and are older, and they got to continue to improve. But, you know, I think it's our front 7 that really, you know, control the game, control the line of scrimmage, and help us play good defense.
Richmond football head coach Russ Huesman joining us this morning. Coach, Howard did a pretty good job of stopping the aerial attack. Wickersham only had 3 passes. Ashton Snellsire went 4-14 for 35 yards. What did Howard do to slow down your passing attack, and how can you adjust that this week heading into Patriot League play so Bucknell can't do the same?
Well, you know, when a day like that happens, you probably miss some opportunities, which we did. You know, we had some open guys, whether the route wasn't run exactly like we wanted it or we missed the guy. You know, early we got a 3rd and 4, and, you know, if we put it on Beanie, you know, he probably run 60 yards for a touchdown, and we threw it low and couldn't get it. And so all of a sudden, you know, where you could say, all right, we've got some people. If we put it on them, run precise routes, you know, we got chances for big plays, and we had multiple chances for big plays. And whether it's, again, like I said, whether it's a wideout not running it correctly or quarterback just missing him, you know, we had Davion Griffin, you know, wide open for a touchdown early in the second half, and you know, just barely overthrow right off his fingertips. So, you know, you get 4 or 5 of those, you know, and all of a sudden you're 9 of 17 or 15, and you've got, 155, 60 yards. If you don't, then it looks terrible. It's 4 of 14 for Ash and 4 of 17 overall and 35 yards. And there's a small margin there, and we got to be more precise and better technique wise. And we'll get better. I know our wideouts will get better, and our quarterbacks will put it where it needs to be.
How much of it was the rain playing a part, and how much of it was Howard's defense?
No weather issues. I mean, there was barely any wind, and I think it sprinkled maybe while we were in the locker room at halftime. So no rain, no wind. Howard had a lot to do with it. They were pretty good. They did a lot of nice things on defense. So they had a part of it. And also we had a part of it. And we got to throw and catch the ball way better than that. And hopefully we will.
And now looking ahead, you got Patriot League play from here on out. Bucknell, a team that allows about 30 points per game, 6th in the Patriot League. How can you guys attack the Bucknell defense this week on Saturday?
Well, we got to execute better. I mean, we got to play better on the offensive side of the ball and execute. Like I said, if we'd have executed better against Howard, there would have been probably better offensive production, but we didn't. So we have to execute. That's the first thing. You can draw up all the plays you want and call anything you want, but we've got to execute. We've got to put them in positions, good positions as a staff. It's on us too now. I mean, we got to make sure that we're putting them in the best possible positions to make plays, because I do think we have some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball that can do some things with the ball in their hands. But Lehigh, it'll be a test there. Got to go on the road to Lehigh. I think Lehigh's offense is really, really good. The quarterback's preseason player of the year. Last year's player of the year in the league. They got some wideouts that are extremely talented. So we're going to have to play way, 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 way better on offense, because I don't think it's going to come quite as easy for our defense this week.
Coach, something that's always interesting to me with kind of the conference changes and things of that sort, it brings new road trips to you guys. How are you preparing for that? I mean, Bucknell, then Colgate. I know you don't want to necessarily look ahead, but from a logistics perspective, does that impact anything you guys are doing on a week-to-week basis?
Not during the week. We kind of do it the same way. Bucknell's not a bad bus trip. The only problem, when you start to do these things, when you play at a Bucknell, where they don't have great hotel accommodations, fairly close. So, I mean, we're going to have to take an hour ride day of the game, because we need to, stay in a full-service hotel that can accommodate meeting space, meal space. Colgate will be the same way. We're going to have to stay in Syracuse, which most people do anyway. And that'll be a pretty good bus ride, prior to the game. So those are things that are a little different. You like to get in the bus and 15, 20 minutes later you're at the stadium. So that'll be a little adjustment we got to make, but we've made that. I think when we played, Wofford, we had to do the same thing, bus a little bit of a distance to get there. So, and they don't get you, when you play North Carolina and those people, they got the police escort, stop for a light one time. If we get caught at a few lights, it's going to even be longer trip in the morning, on Saturday morning. Because there's nobody pushing us here as far as stopping lights and things like that.
Yeah, the fun things that fans I don't think necessarily think about, the logistics of it all, the kind of behind the scenes things that happen. But good luck this weekend, Coach, at Bucknell, October 4th, a noon kick. You can find it all on ESPN Plus and right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Appreciate your time, Coach.
Thanks again. See you guys.
Appreciate Richmond football head coach Russ Huesman taking some time out of his morning to chat with us as the Spiders get set to continue on with Patriot League play this weekend at Bucknell, Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. That's the location. You can catch that game on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. The Spiders got their Patriot League era underway in week 1 of the season against Lehigh, which was a 21-14 setback against the favorite to win the Patriot League. Richmond picked to finish second in the Patriot League. Now they've got Patriot League play from here on out. Bucknell, Colgate, Holy Cross, Fordham, Georgetown, Lafayette, and finishing the season off with the Capital Cup against William & Mary in a non-conference showdown. But every other game from here on out for the Spiders are against Patriot League competition. It's the thick of the schedule, and they get it going against Bucknell as they look to bounce back after just a 13-point performance against Howard. They got the W. That's all that matters. But the Spiders will look to find some of that offensive momentum that they had in that 38-14 win against VMI in their home opener. So appreciate Coach Russ Huesman once again for taking some time out of his morning to chat with us about the Spiders, about their upcoming game against Bucknell. We'll catch up with him again next week, so you don't want to miss it. We're going to take a quick break, quick timeout right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
Driven by an unwavering passion for real estate, Wes Attia with Joyner Fine Properties consistently goes above and beyond for his clients. Wes is dedicated to ensuring that every step of your home selling or buying journey is met with unparalleled dedication, expertise, and a genuine commitment to exceeding your expectations. Wes is a proud sponsor and founder of the River City Tennis Open, supporting local charities benefiting RVA youths, and can be found at isellrichmondhomes.com.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
This is your year if you're Buffalo. This is your year. The competition in the AFC in terms of number of great teams is less than it feels like it's been. You have to take advantage of it.
I'm looking around the landscape of the AFC, and every single team has major questions with the exception of the Buffalo Bills.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. Amber and Ian.
The New York Giants have made a change. They're going to go ahead and give the rookie a shot in Jackson Dart.
I would have liked to have been able to, and I think the Giants coaching staff would have liked to be able to sit him for maybe 2 or 3 more weeks.
Well, if they would have liked to have, then they should have, because they're the ones in control. They're the ones making this
Russell's
decision.
that bad.
But he's not that bad.
Amber and Ian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80. This is Freddie and Harry.
Herm Edwards, we are so glad to see you in studio, brother. How are you doing, brother?
Well, thank you for inviting me back. It's good to be sitting in the seat. It's okay.
Yes.
Now I don't see Harry's getting to do what Harry does. Harry is what we call Esquire.
Y'all sound like my mom and dad. Our middle child gonna do what our middle child does.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
106.1 ESPN, home of Border to Border with Matt Josephs. Dive into Virginia's hottest sports topics daily. Agree or argue. Matt's got the takes you can't ignore.
Welcome back in. Fitz the Bill on this Wednesday morning, October 1st. Appreciate Richmond football head coach Russ Huesman for taking some time to chat with us following the Spiders' win over Howard, and as they get set for their showdown in Patriot League play with Bucknell. We do have to turn our attention. We'll talk a little MLB playoffs as that's continuing on, maybe talk a little bit more about how the New York Yankees manager Aaron Boone gave them a loss because he overmanaged, which is insane, but that's besides the point. We also want to talk here about the WNBA because there were some, I don't think, Alan, I have ever heard a singular player, a current player, a great player of the league. I mean, she finished second in MVP voting this year. Nafisha Collier yesterday in her exit interview with the press went scorched earth on the WNBA and specifically Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. And now the Sports Business Journal is reporting that there are sources saying that Commissioner Kathy Engelbert will likely exit as the WNBA commissioner once these current CBA negotiations are over, and that what Nafisha Collier did yesterday, the star player for the Minnesota Lynx, helped exacerbate the issue and help speed up the process in getting Commissioner Engelbert out. Nafisha Collier went scorched earth. This is what she said about the commissioner, about the WNBA, about leadership at large in the league.
I'm concerned about the future of our sport. At some point, everyone deserves to hear the truth from someone who I hope has earned the benefit of the doubt to fight for what is right and fair for our athletes and our fans. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world. If I didn't know exactly what the job entailed, maybe I wouldn't feel this way. But unfortunately for them, I do. We serve a league that has shown they think championship coaches and Hall of Fame players are dispensable, and that's fine. It's professional sports. But I will not stand quietly by and allow different standards to be applied at the league level.
She went, that was part of a over 4-minute long statement. That was her opening statement before she even took questions from the media. She sat down, she said, I'd like to first start before I take questions with a prepared statement. And it went for over 4 minutes where she was calling out everything there is about the WNBA. And Nafisha Collier is someone that is able to call out the WNBA. One, because she has the star power. She finished second in MVP voting, was arguably the best player throughout the entire season in the WNBA. A big reason why the Minnesota Lynx had the best regular season record. But besides that, she's working in lockstep with Breanna Stewart, who's the head of the WNBPA. We'll say that 10 times fast. I had to think that one over. Breanna Stewart's the head of the WNBPA, and Nafisha Collier works in lockstep with her, I believe, as the vice president for that Players Association. So she's working a lot with the CBA negotiations, being involved with what the commissioner is doing, what the head leadership of the WNBA is doing, and she's calling them out. She's over it. And this stems from the officiating in the league this last season that came under scrutiny a whole lot at different points of the season, and it resulted in the Minnesota Lynx arguably losing a game, losing their playoff series, thus ending their season because of a missed call. And missed calls have been kind of the constant with the WNBA. And Nafisha Collier, not saying that she was a sore loser. That's not what I'm saying. But that kind of spurred all of this. And now there's even more coming out where Nafisha Collier, she alleged Kathy Engelbert said some crazy things about Caitlin Clark and other. You just got to listen to this soundbite. This is what she said Kathy Engelbert alleged she had told her.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them.
That's a little insane for the commissioner to be saying to a sitting player. That's a little crazy.
Yeah, she can't obviously confirm or prove that was said, but like I've said plenty of times that I think the WNBA is the worst run league in all the world. I think there is some leadership issues. Nafisha's more than qualified because she took a league that they told her wouldn't work. She got money for the players. She got them paid more. She got them amenities that they couldn't apparently get in the WNBA. And she got a lot of sponsors to back them. And they were on TNT, True TV.
Unrivaled?
Yeah. So like if she's speaking on the matter, I, for one, would listen. And I think other people should take notice as well. I know a lot has been said about them wanting more pay, et cetera, but this is less about wanting more pay and about the development of their game. And in that sense, I think everybody should be united in wanting to see that grow.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the pay, because the backdrop of all of this is the CBA negotiations where the players are asking for more money. But Collier isn't even saying that they deserve more money. She's just saying they deserve better leadership. And I mean, Caitlin Clark has now come out in support of Collier. Breanna Stewart has. Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson. You've probably heard, even if you don't follow the WNBA, you know at least two of those names. They have come out in vocal support of Collier. Asia Wilson took time was either the pregame or postgame media availability before the Aces playoff game against the Fever, took time to address it and voice her support for Collier.
She's a trip.
Asia Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was going crazy.
Yeah, we don't want her. We don't want her
what'd she
motivated
say?
to speak her mind.
What did she say that what Kathy Engelbert said was a disgrace or an embarrassment?
Yeah.
Because Kathy Engelbert came out and had a questionable response to what Nafisha Collier said. Kathy Engelbert's statement was, "I have the utmost respect for Collier and for all the players in the WNBA. Together we have worked tirelessly to transform this league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players and the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to elevate the game. I am disheartened by how Nafisha characterized our conversation and league leadership, but even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver." Just calling out Nafisha on multiple occasions in a statement. That's how you get things rolling.
Yeah.
It's all very interesting.
I mean, she's never been vocal before, so something had to happen.
Something had to happen. And now the Sports Business Journal reporting that sources are saying that Engelbert will be out as the WNBA commissioner after the collective bargaining agreement is done. The WNBA has denied the report, but the sources are saying that Engelbert does not have good relationships specifically with players. She does not have good relationships with colleagues. As this league has gone through unprecedented growth, Collier, her comments, likely, Sports Business Journal said, likely won't help Engelbert's already unstable public standing and most likely exacerbate it. So not great things happening over there in the WNBA for Kathy Engelbert and everything happening with them. I mean, just a tough look to have one of your star players in your league. That's like, I mean, I'm trying to imagine. I mean, Anthony Edwards coming out and saying that the league stinks. Lamar Jackson coming out and saying that Roger Goodell is the worst commissioner in all of sports. That's insane.
I think that's part and parcel for the NFL. Nobody likes Roger Goodell.
Hey,
has a player ever showed support for him?
No, but they've never said that his leadership is the worst in the world.
They've never called that out. You're right.
He literally said that the leadership.
I think Manfred's had people say that.
Oh yeah, Manfred's. Yeah, that's why I didn't bring up MLB. Manfred also called the World Series trophy a hunk of metal.
Yeah.
So I get why you hate Rob Manfred. If you're an MLB fan, if you're a baseball player, whatever it is, I get why you hate Rob Manfred. For Kathy Engelbert, I think she is right there as among the worst commissioners in sports. But that kind of is a larger picture with the NBA. Adam Silver has gone from arguably the most beloved commissioner in all of sports to one of the worst commissioners in all of sports.
Well, basketball is one of the sports, since we're on the subject, it's one of the sports where you love because you love it, right? Like hoopers hoop, right?
Well, it's also one of the only sports that it's the lowest barrier to entry. That and soccer in America. And soccer's not a thing in America.
And what Silver has done is basically tried to make it an NFL model, which means paywalls and things like that. And I just, as a fan base, I just don't know if that resonates with the NBA. Like, a lot of people are not trying to pay $400, $500 in subscriptions to watch Peacock and Amazon and these like that to watch their teams. Like in the NFL, I think fan bases and the system is just a little different. We're kind of used to it. But from an NBA model, to me, it just doesn't seem like it would work. And I think that has turned the public opinion against them more sour.
Well, for a lot of the teams, too, you can't even watch on local regional cable. Like, if you are a Washington Commanders fan living here in Richmond, you know what team you can watch for free every single weekend? The Commanders. Like, you have to have whatever your Comcast or whatever your choice is. But, like, you could technically, in theory, get an antenna and go like old school, like rabbit ears, and get your local team for free. And you can't do that in the NBA. Like, if you want to watch the Charlotte Hornets, you needed a subscription to FanDuel Sports TV or whatever it is.
Which is crazy.
Which is also questionable that you're putting your league on FanDuel Sports TV, but that's a whole other topic. That's because Bali went under, although Bali also started their own sports book, but that's a whole other story.
I definitely wouldn't trust that.
But like, Adam Silver, and he's out there essentially what Rob Manfred did, calling the World Series trophy a hunk of metal. He goes, well, we're just a highlight league regardless, so it doesn't matter if you can watch the full game. And now he's talking about how European teams might be involved in the playoffs. He's like, I'm not against it. Maybe the best teams in the European leagues, they win their league and they come over and they participate in the playoffs here. And it's like, no one is asking for that.
Nobody wants that.
And he's trying to make the NBA game more of an international model. Again, no one is asking for that.
Yeah, and I think they're falling in love too much with the idea that the NBA and FIBA are the same. They really are not.
No, the NBA is its own thing, and it's a better product. But now you're seeing Adam Silver, his trajectory going down. Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, not a great time for the basketballs to be having the worst times of their leadership.
No, but you know what's crazy? We're sitting here talking about this segment, but they're still going to make a lot of money.
The NBA is going to make in billions of dollars, and it's going to fund the WNBA.
You can get paid in the NBA and not even have to actually work.
Hey, no, that's aspiration. That's aspiration. They're giving Kawhi.
They're not the only ones doing that. I know they're not.
Oh no, not at all.
That's why I keep downplaying it, because I'm waiting for like it to come out that other people are doing that.
Like, guess who's Mark Cuban is very much in support of Steve Ballmer right now.
Yeah, I was gonna put him as my number one suspect.
He probably is doing
like
it.
That. Yeah.
But also, have you seen any owners speak out against Steve Ballmer?
Nobody said anything.
I wonder why that is.
I know the Buss family definitely said that.
I wonder why that is. You think it's a coincidence that all those players with Miami and things of that sort, it was FTX Arena, and they all were embroiled in that little Ponzi scheme happening. I wonder why no owners no owners and no players have really spoken out against this Kawhi Leonard thing. At media days when no one decided to put their 2 cents in on it. I wonder why. Brian Windhorse fingers. Now what's going on?
I know. Man.
Weird. What's going on? What's going on in MLB? Tonight, we've got a slate of games beginning at 1 p.m. Tigers in Cleveland against the Guardians. Casey Mize going up against BB. Padres, Cubs in Chicago, the comfy confines. Dylan Cease. Which one?
Cubs, Padres. Cubs took game 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, what? Is it a surprise they're playing?
No. I was surprised they took game 1.
I was surprised they took game 1 too. That offense didn't really do a lot. Granted, San Diego's offense did less than that, but they got 2 home runs. One from Suzaka. Let me pull up his name. Let me make sure I get his name right. They got 2 home runs later in the game to power them to the win. The Padres got 1 run across in the second inning, and then from there, they were goose-egged. Chicago got 2 runs across in the bottom of the 5th, 1 insurance run in the bottom of the 8th. Yeah, Suzuki and Kelly both blasted single-run shots over the walls and powered Chicago to the win. Yeah, very shocking. Although the Cubs at home have been pretty solid this year, 50-31.
I think that's one thing MLB gets right, though. That best of 3 creates a lot of intensity.
It's
and
so
urgency.
much fun.
Yeah.
Like I was going to say, I think the NFL should do a best of 3.
No,
that's not what I meant.
No.
The NBA.
The NBA, I think
NBA
it would
should do a best of 3. But for that first round, because the playoffs are too long in basketball.
And there's so many blowouts. And then you got people also throwing games so they can get back home.
Yeah. Well, and I also like how the wild card series is all at the same place. So like Cleveland is hosting it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cubs are hosting it. Like you get that is a huge home field advantage. Tonight we also get the Red Sox and the Yankees. Man, the Yankees blew game 1. And Aaron Boone is defending it, which I get you got to defend your own decision, but like, dude, stop over managing. Stop looking at analytics. And
that's who he is.
I know it is, but like, it's so frustrating, man. Like, you think he's going to have his starter go 6 innings again today and pull him, even though he has a scoreless outing?
In his case, he'll probably do the complete opposite, and it'll still be the wrong move here.
Yeah, tonight he will see that his pitcher is starting to lose a little gas, but he's going to be like, well, last night I pulled him too early, so tonight I won't pull him. And then he's going to give up like a grand slam. It's going to be like, you idiot. You took the wrong message from last night's loss.
I saw some alarming displays of bullpen play, though, last night by some teams, and that's something that you got to keep it out. Dodgers, for one. Their bullpen actually didn't do that great. It should have been a blowout, but the bullpen came in, I think, gave up some runs. You got to tighten that up, man, because postseason play, people don't talk about it enough, but postseason play in baseball is more about bullpen than starting pitching, man, because there's always
pitching in general. Like, you just got to have,
people
but
are
yeah,
going to get
bullpen very important.
people are going to get their clutch hits throughout the game. It's the ones like the pressure when you got to hold the leads and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Yankees last night. Like your bullpen came in and failed. Your bullpen could not do what it was needed to do. The bullpen of the Padres failed. The Cubs got their insurance late in the game, and the offense just couldn't come through. And it was a low-scoring contest throughout the day yesterday, and you can rely on solid starters, but even better bullpens to kind of power you to the wins.
We'll have Dodgers Reds on tonight again at 8:30. Is when the game like the first pitch is at 9:08, but like broadcast starts at 8:30. We'll have that on.
Dodgers put a hurt on the Reds last night.
Oh yeah, no, they were the Dodgers that we expected them to be. Like I said, until the bullpen came in.
Yeah,
I like the Reds. They are, for me, they're right on schedule. I think next year they'll take the next step, but Hunter Green,
uncharacteristic bad outing for him.
Yeah, it stunk. I really like him, and as a young pitcher and stuff, and he's been more than good to the Reds, and the Reds have been more than good to him and patient. So I hope that works out for him. But I know we got Bruce is a Reds fan. There's probably a couple of them out there. I wouldn't hold my head down if I lose a series to the Dodgers. This team is young. They're on their way.
No, and they've got the necessary talent to be
the Central, man. Cubs, Reds, Brewers, man, they're on their way.
Yeah, they are. I mean, who knows? Maybe they can sneak out a win tonight. They've got Littell going against Yamamoto. But
I'll be honest with you, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm trying to be positive.
I mean, let's just. I'm going to be realistic. Godspeed,
Shohei Ohtani. Guess what he did last night?
What did he do?
2 home runs.
Just 2?
Just 2. 3 RBIs.
Guess what he's going to do tonight? A home run and then close the game.
Man, goodness gracious. 2 home runs from Shohei, 2 home runs from Teoscar Hernandez, a home run from Edman. I mean, it's funny. People were like, are the Dodgers not as good as we thought they were? No, they know what the end goal is. It's like the Chiefs the last couple of years. Sure, the regular season's fun, but like we're not going to overexert ourselves. We're going to make it to the playoffs, and
it's the meme where the guy's laid back playing on the game, and then he sits up.
He sits up.
Yeah, playoff time, he's sitting up. Man.
Dodgers last night, they sat up. They got Blake Snell to sit up a little bit. 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. Great outing for the starter there. I mean, good stuff.
Hopefully his manager doesn't take him out again.
Yeah, Dave Roberts, also another manager that's known to sometimes be a little over-managey, I guess you could say.
Man, my criticism of Dave has been that he hasn't taken like Kershaw out enough.
Yeah,
at times, but
too much faith in Kershaw.
Who was it? Was it Cash? I think was the manager for the Rays back when he was.
Guess who he took out too early? Blake Snell, who had the good outing.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
we'll get.
So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
I forgot about that.
The drama of playoff baseball. It really is one of the best playoff baseball and playoff hockey
and playoff basketball. Playoffs. But playoff hockey is hilarious.
Yeah, I guess it's the seasons are long, and sometimes we gripe about how long they are. But the condensed version when they're in the postseason makes the sport so much better.
I also love how in baseball it's a 162 game season, and it comes down to the last game every single season. Like the Mets and the Reds, it came down to the last game of the season.
Yeah, which is why I keep telling people in April, like, those are the games you got to put in your back pocket.
The games you should win early on in the season are the games you got to win early on in the season.
Because believe it or not, like you said, every year it comes down to that sometimes.
Like the Mets are probably looking at a game where they had a blown save, and it's just like, we win that game 9 times out of 10. Well, you lost at the 1, and that's going to hurt you at the end of the season. So you can listen to the Dodgers-Reds game tonight. Coverage begins at 8:30. First pitch at 9 p.m. right here on 106.1. ESPN Richmond. Dodgers look to wrap up the series quickly. They've got Yamamoto going tonight after a 10-5 win yesterday in game 1 of the series against the Cincinnati Reds. But playoff baseball begins 1 p.m. Tigers, Guardians get the day going. 3 p.m. on ABC, Padres, Cubs. And then ESPN has got Red Sox, Yankees with first pitch at 6 p.m. Then you can listen to Reds Dodgers tonight, 106.1 ESPN Richmond. All right, let's get our last break in here. Be back, wrap up this Wednesday edition of Fitz the Bill right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Serving Richmond and beyond for over 20 years, Bonaire Shell features a full line of automotive services. Check out BonaireShell.com, loaded with coupons, specials, and more to see all that they can do for your car and your peace of mind.
And now with their Fuel Rewards program, you can save at least 5 cents per gallon on every fill-up. Learn more at fuelrewards.com. Go see the team at Bon Air Shell, 8762 West Huguenot Road. Go to bonairsshell.com or call them at 272-3232. That's 272-3232.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
In sports, it's the dream team. And if your car is out of warranty, there's a team for that as well. You, the driver, your mechanic, and Endurance to pay for the repair bills. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance auto protection plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-454-4558. That's 800-454-4558. 800-454-4558.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
Stuck off the field? 1061 ESPN's got your back. Stream every debate, score, and highlight on the 1061 ESPN app. Download today and stay in the game.
Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name.
Welcome back in Fitz the Bill on this Wednesday morning, October 1st. The calendar has flipped to the month of October. Fall is getting closer, and that means playoff baseball is here. And Al and I, for one, cannot wait to see how Aaron Boone blows the game tonight. I will be locked in, looking forward to how he handles the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning.
I know we have March Madness. I know we have bowl season.
Oh, what are you about to say? This feels like it's about to be a big take.
No, but I just feel like we don't give October enough love for sports.
Yeah, it is a great month for sports, isn't it?
Like football's going, both college and professional. Basketball comes back, both college and professional. Hockey picks up. Baseball's in the thick of it. I just feel like we don't give it enough love.
That's true. It is just an overall good. You got something every night of the week.
Like you really do have some form of entertainment every night.
You got some, like tonight you got MLB baseball. Tomorrow is Thursday. You got Thursday night football. You've got Brock Purdy trying to figure out if he can go through his foot injury or not.
I don't think we need to talk about
that. Man. For me personally, I as a Seahawks fan, would love for the 49ers to lose because they've got that win over the Seattle Seahawks already this season.
Objectively speaking, I'd rather play the Niners than the Rams if I was the Seahawks. So,
yeah, but I'd rather play neither and just win the NFC West. But that's just me. But Brock Purdy might go, might not go, probably won't go. Matt Jones shouldn't go.
Yes.
As the 49ers are heavily hit by the injury bug. I mean, Juwan Jennings left last game with Ricky Pearsall. Both of them are questionable. Brock Purdy is questionable. Jordan Watkins, another wide receiver, is questionable. That goes along with the fact that, who is it?
Bosa's
George
out.
Kittle's out. Nick Bosa's out for season. You are. Why is it every year? Ayuk is still out. Every year, the 49ers are just one of the more injured teams in the National Football League.
Yep. Everybody's hurt but Kyle Shanahan's ego.
And his ability to kick field goals.
Kicking Kyle, man.
Good for you, man. You get to keep with it. You get to keep with kicking Kyle.
Oh,
no getting away from him.
I mean, it's similar to the Penn State debacle, right? Like you got a guy that can't get you over the hump, but you can't fire him. Yeah, you can't.
It's like Jim Harbaugh with the Ravens.
John.
Why do I always mess up their names?
You keep putting that stigma on Jim, but John Harbaugh, yeah,
it's the one thing in sports I can never get right.
Mike Tomlin with the Steelers, like you can't fire the guy.
Well, you can fire Mike Tomlin.
I mean, you could, but seriously, there's obviously worse options out there.
Seattle probably should. it was said for a while, Seattle can't fire Pete Carroll. They did, and now they are more successful without Pete Carroll than they were in the final years of Pete Carroll.
Yeah, in the final years, that's the key.
Well, yeah, but we're at the final years of Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin now isn't the Mike Tomlin of past. The James Franklin of, granted, James Franklin's never been great. James Franklin's just been a model of consistency and consistently losing to AP top 10 teams. He's 4-21 all time against them. And hey, Alan, I got to tell you something, though. That loss won't define our season.
It won't, but when
it will. It will define
when the
their
next
season.
big game comes up, we're just gonna be like, this is what you do, man.
Oh, you mean their next game in a couple of weeks against Ohio State?
Yeah,
or their next big game after that against Indiana?
Ohio State ain't even gonna come down to. He loses Ohio State games in regulation. He makes sure of that.
Yeah,
he blinks so much when he play. I don't understand it, man. Like, I don't know why he's afraid of Ryan Day. And no matter who's in Michigan blue, they just stick it to him every time. They're not afraid at all. Even teams when they've been mismatched, they've given them the best effort. Penn State will have superstars out there, and Ohio State can bring in just the most random people, and they just get so intimidated by it. I don't understand
how Kirby Smart, his kryptonite is
And Bama.
Alabama.
Yeah, like what?
You know what James Franklin kryptonite is? Every team in the Big Ten.
Every
top 10 team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, he'll get over the hump at some point. He'll get lucky.
Hopefully, eventually. We'll see. We'll see if he does. My money's on it not getting over the hump. We have had 25 examples or opportunities for him to get over the hump, and he has only done it 4 times.
He'll never get fired. That's for sure.
That is very true. We want to shout out Dave and Buster's in Ortho, Virginia again for sponsoring the Talk of the Town segment earlier today. Dave and Buster's in Shore Pump. Grab some food, crush a few arcade games, maybe brag about your big win. We are where Richmond talks sports. They are where Richmond goes to play. Dave and Buster's in Shore Pump, located at 4001 Brownstone Boulevard, Suite 101. And Talk of the Town is also brought to you by Ortho Virginia, with 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area. You can visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why stronger starts here. Tune in tomorrow in hour number 1 between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. We're giving away another pair of VIP tickets to the Green Top Outdoor Expo. The Outdoor Expo itself is 100% free Saturday and Sunday up there at Green Top in Ashland. But if you want a little bit of an elevated experience, be sure to tune in tomorrow between 8 and 9 a.m. to get your chance at winning a pair of VIP tent tickets. You don't want to miss it. Between now and then, we are where Richmond talks sports. Clinton and Friends up next takes you into the Rich Eisen Show. Then you got Border to Border with Matt Josephs, the Mashup Hour with Bob Black joining Matt, and the Sports Huddle from 5 until 6. And 6 o'clock tonight, it is Talkin' Dukes with myself and Matt Josephs. You do not want to miss it if you're a JMU fan. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Fitz the Bill.
From the ESPN studio, presented by Ortho Virginia. Find one of Ortho Virginia's orthopedic locations at orthovirginia.com. W291CL Lakeside.